Have you ever found yourself sitting alone, staring at your phone, wondering why it's been days, maybe even weeks, since someone called just to check in on you? Maybe you used to have a close circle of friends, but over time, life took you in different directions. People move away, family members get busy, and suddenly, you realize the phone isn't ringing like it used to. If that sounds familiar, I want you to know something very important. You are not alone in feeling lonely. In fact, millions of people over 60 experience the same thing. But here's the good news. You don't have to accept loneliness as part of aging. It's not just the way things are. There are simple, practical ways to reconnect, make new friends, and start feeling like you belong again. And today, that's exactly what we're going to talk about. So, if you've ever wondered, how do I meet new people at this stage in life? Or, is it too late to build new friendships? Stick with me, because the answer is no, it's never too late. You're about to learn 6 simple but powerful ways to bring more social connection into your life, starting today. Now, let's start with something that may surprise you. Change the way you think about making friends. Most people assume friendships happen naturally, like when we were kids on the playground. Back then, all it took was a shared toy or a seat next to someone in class. But as adults, we expect friendships to just happen the same way, and when they don't, we assume something's wrong. Here's the truth. Friendship as an adult requires intention. It's not about waiting for the right people to come to you. It's about putting yourself in situations where new friendships can grow. Think of it like gardening. If you never plant seeds, how can you expect flowers to bloom? The same goes for friendships. You have to actively plant the seeds of connection. That means stepping outside your comfort zone and putting yourself in places where relationships can naturally form. So, what's one of the best ways to do that? Let's talk about a simple strategy that works wonders. Join groups that match your interests. One of the easiest and most natural ways to meet people is by surrounding yourself with those who share your interests. Think about it. When you already have something in common with someone, starting a conversation feels effortless. Do you enjoy reading? Find a local book club. Love gardening? Look for a community garden project. Always wanted to try painting? Join a local art class. And if you're thinking, but I don't know where to find these groups, don't worry. It's easier than ever, thanks to the internet. Websites like meetup.com, local Facebook groups, or even checking your town's community center bulletin board can open doors you never knew existed. Many libraries, churches, and senior centers also host events specifically designed for people looking to connect. And here's the beauty of it. When you join a group, you don't have to force friendships. You're simply showing up, participating, and over time, natural connections will form. The key is consistency. Don't just go once. Make it a habit. And speaking of habits, let's move on to another simple but powerful way to bring more connection into your life. Be the one who reaches out. This one can feel a little uncomfortable at first, but I promise, it's worth it. Many people wait for others to invite them, call them, or make the first move. But what if you became the person who reached out first? Think about the people you already know, even if you're not super close to them yet. Maybe it's a neighbor you see on walks. Maybe it's someone you chat with at the grocery store. Maybe it's an old friend you lost touch with. Next time you see them, instead of just saying a quick hello and moving on, try taking that conversation one step further. Ask them how their day is going. Compliment something about them. Show genuine interest. And if the conversation feels natural, take a small leap. Say, "Hey, I'd love to grab a coffee sometime. Would you be interested?" I know that might sound a little nerve-wracking, but here's something surprising. Most people are craving connection just as much as you are. They just don't know how to make the first move either. When you take the initiative, you give others permission to open up and say yes. And guess what? Even if 1 or 2 people don't respond how you'd hoped, that's okay. That's not a reflection of you. It just means they weren't the right connection for you. Keep trying, keep reaching out, and soon enough, you'll find the people who truly click with you. Now that we've talked about the power of reaching out and putting yourself in the right places to meet people, let's dive into something just as important: being open to new kinds of friendships. A lot of people assume that close friends need to be people the same age as them. But let's challenge that idea for a moment. Some of the most fulfilling relationships you can build might not be with people your exact age. Think about it. Have you ever had a great conversation with someone younger? Maybe a neighbor's son or daughter, a grandchild, or even someone you met at the grocery store. Younger people often appreciate the wisdom and life experience that comes with age, and they may be looking for mentorship, guidance, or even just a good friend who sees life differently. The same goes for making friends with people who are older than you. Maybe you're 65 and meet someone in their late 70s who has an incredible perspective on life that inspires you. Friendships don't have to fit into neat little boxes. When you let go of the idea that all your friends must be exactly like you, you open the door to so many more meaningful connections. One way to do this is by getting involved in intergenerational activities. These are programs or groups that bring people of different age groups together for a common goal, like volunteering, community gardening, or even tutoring kids at a local school. Imagine the friendships you could form by helping young students learn to read or by mentoring young adults about life skills. Not only will you be making a difference in someone's life, but you'll also find yourself surrounded by people who value your presence. And here's something else. Having friendships across different generations can actually make you feel younger and more energized. Studies show that socializing with younger people keeps your mind sharp and improves overall well-being. But let's say you're not quite sure how to find these opportunities. That brings us to another powerful way to build social connections. Volunteering. The secret to finding purpose and friendship. If you've ever felt like your days don't have as much structure or purpose as they used to, volunteering can change that and bring incredible people into your life at the same time. Think about it. When you're volunteering, you're surrounded by others who care about the same things you do. Whether you're working at a food bank, helping at an animal shelter, or spending time at a hospital, you're instantly part of a team. And the best part? Friendships happen naturally when you're working toward a common goal. You don't have to force conversations or feel awkward. When you're volunteering, you're already in an environment where teamwork and connection happen naturally. And the beauty of it is that you're making a difference in the world while also building a social life. If you don't know where to start, try looking up local volunteer opportunities through community centers, churches, or websites like volunteermatch.org. Even something as simple as spending time with children in a reading program or helping organize local events can introduce you to people who share your values and interests. And here's a little secret. Helping others makes you feel happier. Science has proven that when we give our time and energy to something bigger than ourselves, we experience a boost in our mood and overall well-being. Now, let's say you've joined a group, started volunteering, or even reached out to an old acquaintance, but you're still struggling to turn those encounters into real, lasting friendships. That's where our next step comes in. Saying yes more often. Have you ever been invited to something and immediately thought, "That sounds nice, but I'd rather stay home"? Maybe you got invited to a neighborhood gathering, a church social, or even just a simple coffee outing, but you found an excuse not to go. It's completely normal to feel that way, especially if you've been out of the habit of socializing. But here's something to think about. Every friendship starts with a single yes. Saying yes to invitations, even when you're unsure, is one of the simplest ways to create new connections. And I'm not saying you have to accept every single invite. Just start saying yes a little more often than you say no. The more you put yourself in social situations, the easier it becomes. The first time might feel awkward, but by the third or fourth time, you'll feel like you belong. The key is giving yourself a chance. And if you're thinking, what if I don't enjoy it? That's okay. Not every social event will be a perfect fit, but every experience gives you more confidence. And who knows? That one event you almost skipped might be where you meet someone who becomes a lifelong friend. Let's take this idea a step further in the next part, where we'll cover one final, powerful strategy to make meaningful friendships and truly enjoy your social life again. We've talked about changing how you think about making friends, joining groups that match your interests, volunteering, and saying yes more often. But there's one more powerful shift that can make all the difference in your social life, and it's something many people overlook. It's about being the kind of friend you want to have. So many people wait for others to reach out, make plans, or take the first step. But what if, instead of waiting, you started being the one who brings people together? Think about the kind of friendships you want. Do you want someone who checks in on you, invites you to do things, and makes you feel valued? If so, ask yourself, am I doing those things for others? Here's a simple challenge. Instead of waiting for someone to call or invite you somewhere, be the one who reaches out first. Maybe that means inviting your neighbor over for tea. Maybe it means organizing a casual weekly coffee meetup at a local cafe. Or maybe it's as simple as picking up the phone and calling someone you haven't spoken to in a while. At first, it might feel a little uncomfortable. But the more you do it, the more natural it becomes. And the best part? When you put effort into being a good friend, you naturally attract good friends in return. You'd be surprised how many people are sitting at home, feeling just as lonely as you, waiting for someone to reach out. Be that person for someone else. Not only will it strengthen your social circle, but it will also give you a greater sense of purpose and connection. Now, before we wrap up, let's talk about one final thing that can make or break your success in building a strong social life. Letting go of fear and self-doubt. A lot of people hold themselves back from making new friends because of fear. Fear of rejection, fear of being judged, fear of saying the wrong thing. But let me ask you, what's the worst that could happen? Maybe someone doesn't respond the way you hoped. Maybe you feel a little awkward the first time you step into a new group. But is that really worse than sitting alone, wishing things were different? Fear keeps us stuck. It convinces us that we're too old, too shy, or too different to make meaningful connections. But the truth is, you are never too old to make new friends. You are never too old to start fresh. The only way to build the friendships you want is to take that first step. Even if it's small, even if it's just saying hello to someone new today. And here's the best part, the more you put yourself out there, the easier it gets. What feels intimidating today will feel natural in a few weeks. And before you know it, you'll look back and wonder why you ever doubted yourself in the first place. Final thoughts. Loneliness is not a life sentence. It's just a temporary state, and with the right mindset and actions, you can change it. Friendship doesn't have to be complicated. It starts with a simple decision: to show up, to say yes, to reach out, and to believe that new connections are possible. So, I want to leave you with this. You are worthy of friendship. You are worthy of connection. And it's never too late to build the social life you want. If this video resonated with you, let me know in the comments. What's one step you're going to take this week to be more social? And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content on living your best life after 60. Here's to new friendships, new opportunities, and a happier, more connected life. You've got this.